I just got three things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go from Atlanta. Jared Swaim, Richie Joplin on the front row. Danny Passmore, Gerald Poole have the second row. Ryan Warp and Dave Ryder on the third row. Tim St. Jean and Derek Schilling on the fourth row. Mike Sakar and Stephen Lindner round out the top 10. The Iceman DJ Kenner starting in 11th next to Kevin Bruner in 12th. Jamie MacArthur in 13th, Darrell Whitford in 14th, Larry Tittle in 15th, Robert Eggert starting at 16th, Jamie Bray in 17th, Mike Burgess 18th, Stuart Wright starting in 19th, and Paul Buchanan rounds out the 20-car field at Atlanta. Tyler, you'll definitely enjoy getting a lumbar support for your back, trust me. Gerald Thanos Poole sporting a new team paint scheme this week. Paul Buchanan did not take to the grid. There's Gerald on the outside of row 2. Jared Swaim in control. Buchanan has not appeared in pit road. Here we go. Pace car dives in. Green flag is in the air. They are down and away at Atlanta. These Xfinity cars tend to come up to speed fairly quickly. Now remember, almost as much power as the Cup car, nowhere near the downforce. These cars are a bit of a handful. Side by side, up front, Jared Swaim and Richie Joplin. Swaim has the nose ahead. Who's it gonna be? And wow, Jared leads the first lap by by just a few thousandths of a second. Dave Wright had a little bit of a bobble there through 1 and 2, gets it gathered up. Darrell Whitford, Stuart Wright backing off the pack just a little bit here in the early going. Much like we saw last week at Daytona, playing it safe in the early going. Noticing a lot of guys really having a problem getting the car to set down and get down into the track, into turn 1. Mike Burgess set the fastest lap so far last time by. I'm guessing that lap time will continue to go down though. Derek Schilling already up a couple spots into 6th place. Stephen Lindner up 2 spots into 8th. Kevin Bruner up 2 spots into 10th. But Mike Burgess on the march. Oh, we've got a wreck up front. 3 cars into the wall. Caution is out. It's a big one in Atlanta. Remember, they do not have fast repairs. This may end a few drivers' races. See if we can see where this chaos started at. Oh, right behind the car up top, comes down and clips Gerald Poole, sends him up into Schilling. There you see Schilling gets pushed up into the wall. There's crashing back behind as well. A lot of drivers checked up and a few just, Dave Wright just smacks the wall. The car was already fairly torn up. A rough start for some of these drivers. We've got a bunch of them on pit road. Dave Wright, Gerald Poole, Robert Eggert, Mike Burgess, all on pit road. Jamie MacArthur out of the race already. Derek Schilling limping his car back into pit road. The back end of that car is tore up. Obviously, it got squished up into the wall. Angie, unfortunately, Schilling got caught up in the wall. You see the back end of his car there. He got a bit smushed. Jared Swaim, Richie Joplin were out front. Might have been two of the only drivers to not be impacted by that event. A few drivers did manage to survive and pick up a lot of ground, like Steve Lindner, up 5 spots into 5th. Mike Zakar in 6th. DJ Kenner now up in 7th. Kevin Bruner now up into 8th. Larry Tittle up 6 spots into 9th. Stuart Wright picked up 8 spots into 11th. Tim St. Jean on his way out after repairs. Schilling still in his pit box. Dave Wright still in his pit box. Robert Eggert still in his pit box. Green flag back in the air at Atlanta. Those guys still on pit road, losing a lap here, but likely to see them all back out on the track to pick up some points. Jared Swaim, Richie Joplin, Danny Passmore, Ryan Warp, and Mike Zakar, the new top 5. Steve Lindner and DJ Kenner battling for 6th. Mike Burgess has ducked back into pit road. Gerald Poole is back out on track. He was caught up in it. Just barely maintaining the lead lap. Stuart Wright was lingering off the back of the pack early on. That paid off in a big way. He's now up 8 spots into 11th, still lingering there at the tail. Playing it safe may pay off here tonight. As Richie Joplin takes the lead at Atlanta. Both Richie Joplin and Jared Swaim were in extremely close points battles last year multiple times with each other and with D. Mark Nelson. And we've got another car coming to pit road as Tim St. Jean. Looked like Tim had everything repaired and running, but obviously that car still has some problems. Richie got a little squirrely coming out of turn 2 that time. Steve Lindner, DJ Kenner still battling back behind for 6th. Kevin Bruner lurks back behind in 8th. Larry Tittle in 9th. Darrell Whitford in 10th. It looks like Gerald Poole may be losing the draft here. He's going to have to get back up on the bumper if he wants to stay in the fight. Now, because of the reconfiguration, it's unlikely any driver can pull away and open up a big lead here tonight. So it's strategy and driving defensively. We're looking at 25 or so laps on a tank of fuel. A little bit more for the guys back in the draft. With that early caution, likely to see it stretch closer to 30. Passmore gets a little bit squirrely there out of turn 4, but holds on to it. He is going way up the track on corner exit, trying to get some momentum. But it looked like he might have swung it a little bit too high as the leaders are headed toward late lap traffic. Mike Burgess up on the wall. Looks like he may be down on power and speed, but he's out there trying to pick up positions with so many cars out early. Robert Eggert back on track as well. Derek Schilling still sits on pit road. Dave Wright officially out of the race, as is Jamie Bray. Passmore trying to make something happen up top. That time couldn't get the run and had no help from behind. Mike Zakar lurking in 5th. The Iceman now has 6th. Larry Tittle in 7th. Daryl Whitford in 8th. Steve Lindner drops back to 9th. Kevin Bruner in 10th. Stuart Wright still in 11th and still maintaining a gap to stay safe. Gerald Poole did lose touch with the pack back in 12th. I do have to give a bit of a shout out to the admins of Home Motorsports who are mostly Canadian, but really good sports, and we had some really good hockey conversations prior to the race. They were all great sports about it, so good on you guys. Robert Eggert had come back into pit road. He's on his way back out again. You heard during pre-race, Kevin Bruner said they had a truck race here the other day, and everything went great the first run, until pit stop started, then chaos broke out. Hey, Count Blood, how are you? Everybody's sitting in line. Looks like most of them settling in, getting ready for that first pit stop. With the Iceman lurking just outside the top 5, everybody ought to be a little bit worried here tonight. But with Drifty Richie out front coming off the win at Iowa last night, anything could happen. His first round of pit stops here in the next few laps is definitely going to tell us quite a bit about this race. It is worth noting that while the new Atlanta and the new pavement out here is easier on the tires, they still are going to need to change tires a couple times tonight. Even though this track race is a lot like Daytona and Talladega, there is a bit more tire wear to deal with. Hey, good evening, Chrono. And the leader, Richie Joplin, is headed in. And he's bringing quite a few with him. Ryan Warp, Danny Passmore, Mike Zakar, all in. First stops begin at lap 28. Larry Tittle now leading a group in, followed by DJ Kenner, Daryl Whitford, Kevin Bruner, and Stuart Wright. Will those couple of extra laps help in the end? Time will tell. Danny Passmore already on his way out. Fuel only for him. The rest of his group took 4 tires. Richie Joplin coming out in second. Ryan Warp, Mike Zakar, Steve Lindner on their way out. Lowen, I definitely will. Larry Tittle now leads his group off pit road. Kevin Bruner not far behind as everybody comes around. Danny's still out front. Larry Tittle comes out in second. Larry also fuel only. And Larry a little slow as Richie goes by. Kevin Bruner comes out in 5th. Stuart Wright is now up into 6th place. Looking through the field, only a few of the cars tried a different strategy. Danny Passmore did a fuel-only stop. He has the lead. Larry Tittle did fuel-only back and forth. Mike Burgess a couple laps down. He did fuel-only as well back in 11th as Mike Zakar just, oh no! Stuart Wright just drifted it into 1. There's the car underneath Stuart Wright as they go through 3 and 4. Stuart keeps trying to fight back. They come down the front straightaway. Into turn 1, Stuart gets to the high side and that back end just steps out. Manages to save it down on the apron, keeps his foot and it keeps going. Nice save by Stuart Wright. Danny Passmore still has the lead, but it is shrinking rapidly. Richie Joplin, Ryan Warp have gotten together, and they are closing in quickly. They are both on fresh Goodyears. Ryan Warp now has the fastest lap as they take first and second. Passmore slides into third. Derek Schilling is finally coming back on track after extensive repairs. Hey, good evening, Matt Moniak. Right at the halfway point, Richie Joplin and Ryan Warp out front. Danny Passmore 1 1/4 seconds back. Mike Zakar in 4th. Has Kevin Bruner in 5th, right on his bumper. Larry Tittle in 6th, also right there with him. DJ Kenner back in 7th. Daryl Whitford in 8th. Stuart Wright currently holds on to 9th. Steve Lindner in 10th. Jared Swaim currently sits in 11th. Looks like Swaim may have gotten a penalty on pit road. Richie Joplin and Ryan Warp out front, staying tucked into each other. working together. They are opening up a big lead. It's now 5 1/4 seconds back to Passmore. Mike Zakar in fourth, 1.5 seconds behind Danny Passmore. He is closing in on Passmore. He is not closing in on those two leaders. It is going to take a concerted effort by Mike Zakar, Kevin Bruner, and Larry Tittle to have any shot at closing in on Richie Joplin and Ryan Ward. Lap traffic moving out of the way. Gerald Poole now goes a lap down in 12th. Looks like Tim St. Jean just ahead, maybe having some problems. Tim currently in 14th, a couple laps down. As the leaders come by, it looked like he had a problem coming out of turn 2 last time. Holds on to the car, just saw a little smoke off the back of it. If St. Jean can hang with the leaders, the rest of the field, Danny Passmore is in. That fuel-only stop really was a huge setback for Danny. He has got to get those tires on and see if he can do anything with them from here. As St. Jean now sits behind the top two, that is even more help for Richie and Ryan. Tim is also in a really good position to take a lap or two in the car. Riding along with Tim St. Jean across the start-finish line. Down into turn 1 and 2, nose to tail. Because of the heat, the tires are a little bit overinflated. Which does help a lot of times when we come here at later in the evening. Cooler temperatures, we see sparks flying off the cars. Back out of turn 4, down the start-finish line. And you'll note how the track closes in as you go into 1 and 2. We mentioned it during pre-race, that front straightaway about 5 lanes wide. But the turns here only about 3 lanes wide. As they come into more lap traffic, and there you see the track fans out, gets wider at the front. Derek Schilling currently in 16th, Robert Eggert in 15th, Tim St. Jean now taking 14th. They've all picked up a couple of positions due to Jamie Bray, Dave Wright, and Jamie MacArthur out early, and Paul Buchanan not taking the grid. 25 laps to go and one more pit stop. Everybody is now within their pit window. Danny Passmore is back with the lead group, and he has fresh tires. Passmore makes quick work of St. Jean. Are his tires fresh enough to pass the top two? Also worth noting, once again, Richie Joplin is sadly driving a Ford tonight. At any moment, it could spontaneously combust. As we mentioned, everybody within the pit window. Danny Passmore pitted on lap 40. It was an extended pit stop. However, if he is careful, he might actually be able to stretch to the end. It'd be a 30-lap run. And here we go. The leaders head in. Richie and Ryan coming down. Kevin Bruner has now moved into third. Zakar, nope, he did not come in. Larry Tittle, DJ Kenner, Darrell Whitford, Steve Lindner, Stuart Wright, Jared Swaim, still the top 10. Kevin Bruner leads that time. His first lap lead of the night, picking up a few points. Stuart Wright has come to pit road as well. Bruner drops back. Now Zakar in the lead. The Iceman in second. With Jared Swaim in the 17 in the mix. And it looks like the Iceman's going to follow the lap car of Swaim underneath. He's going to try and get a lap lead. Does look like DJ does have a little bit of damage on the back of that car. Obviously not slowing him down a bit. No problem, Lowen. Folks, don't forget, immediately after the race, the Unicorn will go live with the convoy. You definitely don't want to miss out on that. Derek Schilling may be headed to pit road or may have had a problem. Schilling slow on the bottom. He's coming back up to speed. He has not been into pit road in a bit. Ryan Warp, Richie Joplin back out on track. Warp just set the fastest lap of the night. As they come around to put themselves back on the lead lap. Richie and Ryan going to the high side. And it looks like the other group is finally coming in. Mike Zakar already in. Here they come. The Iceman is in. Kevin Bruner. Jared Swaim on pit road. Darrell Whitford and Larry Tittle both staying out. Whitford leading a lap. Now Whitford is headed in. Larry Tittle is heading in. This pit road entry definitely tricky, having to come in from the backstretch. Maintain as much speed as possible until you get to the cone. Right there, that yellow cone in line, that is the pit road speed limit. Richie Joplin, Ryan Warp coming by. Kevin Bruner on his way back out. Zakar back out. Lindner back out as well. As Richie and Ryan reclaim the front of the race, they're back in first and second. Darrell Whitford in third. Larry Tittle back in fourth as Kevin Bruner comes by. Derek Schilling stays to the high side. Schilling has moved up to 16th. He stayed in the fight and has picked up some spots and some points. And over the course of the year, every point matters. Richie and Ryan out front now have a 14.5 second lead on Whitford. Kevin Bruner in fourth is closing in on Darrell. He's bringing Mike Zakar with him. Larry Tittle in sixth, Steve Lindner in seventh, Danny Passmore currently in eighth. The Iceman back in ninth, Stuart Wright in 10th. Really surprised Stewart is still lurking back in 10th. Early on, we saw him hanging off the back of the lead pack. He avoided the early caution. I really thought he was going to come flying up through the field late in this one. Steve Lindner in seventh. The first car, one lap down. He's staying with the top two. If a caution flies in the final 10 laps, he will get a lap back. Gerald Poole, this is the kind of track he usually excels at. But obviously getting caught up in that early incident hurt the car, and he just does not have the pace. Danny Passmore is on pit road. 10 laps to go here at Atlanta. The top two continue to extend their lead. It is now just over 17 seconds. There will be quite a battle between these two at the end, but back behind, Kevin Bruner in third, Darrell Whitford in fourth, Mike Zakar, third, fourth, and fifth, all right there together. Likely to have a bit of a battle back here too, and those late race battles tend to lead to late race cautions. Folks, don't forget to follow on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and the YouTubes. We will be doing some giveaways this year as part of our MS Society and our American Cancer Society fundraisers. Some of those giveaways will start soon, and we'll be putting more merch into the merch store very, very soon. Plus, we just released a new t-shirt about a week ago, the history of HTSAI, with all the different logos we have used over the last 4.5 years. That battle going on for third right now is allowing the top two who are staying single file to extend their lead even further, now 19.3 seconds. Darrell Darrell goes way up the track. Bruner is stuck behind lap traffic. And wow, that was a close call, as Danny Passmore kissed the wall trying to let the lead lap cars by. Derek Schilling has come to pit road for his final stop. 4 laps to go. Hey, good evening, Lonnie. Thank you, buddy. Here we come through 3 and 4. It'll be 3 laps to go at the line. Lowen, she'll be on right after the race. She's probably actually driving her truck right now. Here we go, 2 laps to go. Ryan Warp better start making something happen. Will he use the chrome horn? Back behind, Kevin Bruner now in 3rd. Whitford in 4th. Zakar in 5th. Larry Tittle is in. And here we go. White flag flies one more time around. These two have been nose to tail all night long. Who will it be at the end? Ryan makes a move up to the high side. And may give him the advantage on the front straightaway. Richie down on the bottom has the nose ahead. Here they come out of 4. They're banging doors. At the line, it's Ryan Warp, the winner at Atlanta. Wow, that was a close finish. Richie Joplin comes home in 2nd, and Darrell Whitford takes 3rd on the final lap. No, I stand corrected. Mike Zakar took 3rd. All right, we're going to try and talk to our top 3 right now. The only one available is Richie Joplin, who came home in 2nd. Richie, the finishes don't get much closer than that, buddy.
Yeah, I wanted that win, but it's all good. I'll congrats to Ryan there, and thanks for him staying with me, drafting with me. he stayed right there with me the whole race, and I can't say nothing bad about that. And he just timed it perfect.
Man, he definitely did time it perfect, making the move to the outside. I gotta say, you guys worked together brilliantly to open up, I believe it was over 18 seconds on the next group at the checkered.
Oh, it was 18 seconds?
Yes.
Well, I mean, he worked good with me. He had a little bit of damage, but I didn't think he's had enough, umph on the outside to get me with that damage. But I guess I squeezed it down too hard, and then he got me.
Well, man, a great job and a great finish. Congratulations, Richie.
Thank you, Doug.
Richie gets the win at Iowa last night. He gets the second place finish tonight in Atlanta. We'll give our third and first place guys another second, but don't forget, folks, the Unicorn will be trucking here in just a few moments. Hey, Kevin, great run tonight. I really thought we'd see you on the podium.
Yeah, coming into turn 3, Doug, I thought I was going to be, and we tagged the wall there, lost a little speed. Daryl got loose. Mike Zacher drove right between us.
It sometimes works out like that, man. One early caution, though. Obviously, Derek Schilling was not enjoying the race, and a few of them didn't, but, man, a lot of great racing tonight.
Yeah, that one caution, and the problem with our guys is you get that one caution, you're not going to get too many other chances to fix that car.
Well, you definitely did, and a lot of guys spent a lot of time on pit road, but, man, it was a great night of racing. Congrats, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. Yeah, it was a lot of fun tonight, and hard racing, clean racing, good time, as always.
Definitely was, man. Great job.
All right, have a great night.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Remember, come back here in about 5 or 10 minutes, and the Unicorn will be live trucking. There'll be chaos all over the place. Hope you guys had as much fun as we did tonight. We'll see you shortly. Have a great one, everybody.